the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling my the golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D. Rose.
Oh, well, didn't take it off the screen. Hope y'all like the thumbnail this week. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D. Rose is on that side of your screen, and this week the D stands for Doritos Nacho Cheese flavored. With that being said, we appreciate you guys for stopping by, hanging out with us right here tonight on the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. Yeah, it's an important week. We've got the return of the greatest of all time, John Bones Jones, taking on Stipe Miocic this weekend at Madison Square Garden in New York City. Me and D Rose are going to be giving you our picks and preview and all of that at the end of the show. But before we get into that, we have a lot to get into. We've got tons of UFC news to go over. We've got this past weekend to recap. We've got you guys to go through the chat. But before we do that, D Rose, how have you been over the past week, my guy?
No, things have been great. And I know you had mentioned nacho cheese, but yeah, no, I'm more of a spicy sweet chili or the barbecue. I don't know if you tried the Doritos barbecue. Absolute crack. So this is a Doritos promotion if y'all want to throw some money my way. But no, things have been great, man. And I didn't go too crazy on the sports books or anything this weekend, but I did come out on the plus, more so on the fantasy side. But ended up kind of saving my butt there, so I couldn't be too mad about it. And got a little money loaded up into the account. I didn't bet like too much football on Sunday. I think I told you I stayed away from most of the games. Wanted to try to save up a little bit so that way I could try to hit big this weekend. And man, I think there's some spots that we could take advantage of.
All right. I like it, man. Yeah, you did pretty good last week because we only had 3 different picks for the pick champ, and clearly I don't have it over here. And yeah, I only got one of the 3 right. So I believe you almost swept the entire card. You were like 1 or 2 off. So it's good to know that you came out in the plus, because usually when that happens to me, that like 1 or 2 fighters that I did get wrong will be the one that's like in on my parlay. So thankfully that didn't happen to you, D Rose, and you were able to come out on top, man. Yeah, I got absolutely smoked, man. We were on the 3rd week of I was calling it the stair challenge because I thought the ladder challenge was just jinxing it. But week 1 was $10 to 20 was Jocelyn Edwards, Charles Johnson. We had pay-per-view in between there, but we took a break. We came back with week 2, Yusuf Zalal, Jasmine Jasdavicius, 3-year decision. We turned the 20 that we won the few weeks before to the 47, and then this week we lost it here, D Rose. Cortavius Ramius versus Gaston Bolaños did start round 2, but the last leg for the 2-legger for the plus 100 this week was Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny start round 2, and yeah, Carlos Prates killed Neil Magny with about 10 seconds left in the first round, dude. So that one sucks, dude, because once we start getting up to betting, $40, $50 a parlay, that's where it gets a little bit risky. for me, because I don't like to bet that much on the parlay. So once I do, it's like I'm always super hesitant. And then, dude, once I always get that high, I just lose it, dude. So it is what it is. We'll restart. Hopefully, come back strong this weekend. But I didn't win a damn thing this past weekend. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Not even gonna lie to you. But let's get into the chat, D-Rose. We only got a few in here. We got Austin in here saying, "What's up, everyone? Happy Golden Wednesdays. Let's see some beans get destroyed." Oh, I'm not looking forward to that this week, Austin. Got to be honest. We got Jeremy in here. Goats can't also be ducks, indeed. Austin, the D stands for undisputed champ. We got D Hut in here with the hey guys. Phoenix Priest in here with the good day, lads. What's going on, Phoenix Priest? And Daniel Vasquez with the hey everyone. What's going on, Daniel? I appreciate all of y'all for stopping by. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys, if you don't mind, D-Rose. So let's get into the show, dude. UFC Vegas 100 recap. We kind of talked about it a little bit. Or I did, at least. I'll go ahead and, just say it like this. Carlos Prates ended up knocking Neil Magny out 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the first round. As I said, just needed that round 2 start, and obviously did not happen. But during the fight, dude, I was like, Carlos Prates hurt Magny at one point, started to close the distance, and Magny grabbed him. I was yelling at my TV, dude. Hold on for dear life, Magny. If you let go, he's going to knock you out. And with about 20 seconds left, he dropped the leg. I was like, oh, no, he's going to get knocked out. He's going to get knocked out. My heart's thumping, dude. Like, come on, just get to the end of this fucking round, dude. And 15 seconds left, I just see if I can Carlos Prates stop back. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And I do my hands like this. And the second that I put my hands down, dude, he throws the right and just skips off the top of Neil Magny's head and just kills him. Just face planting Neil Magny right in the octagon. And I was like, I don't want to. We're not too far into the podcast yet, but I threw something and I yelled a word, and my fiance was like, "It's gonna be okay, baby." I'm like, "I know, but it sucks." Yeah. What's your thoughts on the main event this past weekend, man?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually with you there for a minute, and so I actually put like a last second bet in, and then one of the legs on there was for that fight to actually start the second round. But for some reason, right there at the last second, I don't know why, but I just ended up pulling it. And like as soon as I placed it, I was like, nah, I just don't feel good about it. I ended up pulling it, and with good reason, because dude, I mean, I expected Carlos Prates to get the finish, but to get it with the way that he did, I mean, it just goes to show that dude just has an absolute cannon of a left hand, and he can land it from almost anywhere. And he's almost got like this Ilya Taporia thing with him when, dude, once he has you backed up against the fence, oh my gosh. Like, yes, he just takes aim and he just fires off. And as soon as he lands one of them, dude, I mean, you're hurt. And even the one that landed on Magny, the one that put him out, I mean, dude, it just grazed him. It didn't even land. I mean, I know it hit him in the temple, but it wasn't like the punch that that Carlos Prates landed on the Leech, like that was absolutely clean. You can understand why Leech crumpled from that shot. Same thing with Trevor Giles, but yeah, that Neil Magny one just kind of skimped across the top of his temple, but yeah, that's all it takes from Carlos Prates, man. And that dude has absolute bombs, and him and those dudes over Fight Nerds are problems right now.
Dude, please tell me like you saw the Hanato Moicano thing. He's like, my brother. He's like, Carlos Prates is gonna roll Neil Magny up and smoke the motherfucker.
No, I did not see that. That's so hilarious.
Like, yeah, it was like the preview, like 2-3 days before the fights, and he was like this. He's like, listen, my brother, Carlos Prates, he's going to smoke Neil Magny. He's gonna roll him up in a paper and. Dude,
I love it. I love his accent, man. He's dude, he's hilarious.
Yeah, I needed the round 1 KO from Prates. At least someone won, D-Hut. I'm glad you won, my guy. So, anyway, co-main event, GM3 Gerald Meerschaert versus UFC newcomer Renier de Ridder. Dude, I could not wait to talk about this one, dude. Never in my life have I seen a fighter in the first round be getting hit by GM3 and like be shying away like, oh my God, that was the worst punch I've ever felt in my life, dude. This dude striking is so bad, dude. And I don't know who they're going to have him fight next, dude, because, dude, he was shying away from GM3's punches like they were really hurting him, dude. So, not the highest thoughts for Ranier de Ridder, but he does GM3, dude. He must have some heavy. I don't even know the word to use right now, but he seemed to gas out GM3 with his cardio wrestling attack, as that's what GM3 usually does to his guys. But dude, it's like both dudes just seem to completely gas in the third round. I was like, dude, both dudes are gassed. So I suspect GM3 should probably get the finish here. But going back a little bit, GM3 was winning the first round and then just gets dropped, like kind of like GM3 kind of does, dude. And I thought he was winning the second. So I thought it was probably 1-1 going in the third. I was like, all right, this is the time GM3 shines, dude. But Ranier de Ridder gets the arm triangle on GM3 in the third round, and GM3 taps, dude. I was like, what the hell just happened, dude? Thoughts on the fight and thoughts on Ranier de Ridder moving forward, man?
Man, I will say, for as sloppy and crazy as the fight was, I mean, it made it fun in my opinion. I mean, I thought it actually ended up being a pretty good fight. Ranier de Ridder, as you said, his striking was just absolutely atrocious to say the least. But hey, I will say he was willing to stand in there and trade. You know, he was willing to stand in there, go for it, and he did. Yeah, I mean, just in a sense that when he was backing away, but when he was applying like his striking, like he was moving forward, landing big shots, and as you said, even dropped GM3 there at the end of the first round with a big left hook. As ugly as it was, I mean, it looked I actually like the still picture from it, where it's like GM3's like looking up in the air, like frozen, while, you know, his left hand, Ranier de Ridder, is coming through. And then the sixth submission there on GM3 there in the third round, as both of them were gassed. I thought it was absolutely hilarious when they're both laying on the ground, just like both of them are just absolutely gassed. And then like Ranier de Ridder just grabs GM3's hand and he's just like, good fight, buddy, while they're both just laying on the ground, sitting there like helpless to one another.
Dude just spent life and death with the gatekeeper to get into the top 15 in the UFC.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure UFC is like punching the air like, fuck, dude. Like, we double champion from one championship. We were expecting, you know, the next Yuri Barrage gonna come in here. And that dude just went life and death with GM3.
Yeah. I mean, hey, GM3, hey, he brings out that dog in you if you ain't too aware, or if you ain't too prepared, you know. So but I will say, good fight. Do I think Ranier de Ridder is going to be any type of championship potential? You know, slow roll on that. There's a lot of good fighters up at middleweight right now. Middleweight's on fire right now, just in terms of contenders and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think he's going to be fighting for a title anytime soon, but hey, I thought that fight was pretty fun, and I'm definitely going to tune in for his next one to see how it turns out.
Fair enough. Shout out, Dave. What's going on, Dave? Appreciate you stopping by here tonight, my guy. Let's see. We got he's just a DDT type of fighter, dude. I mean, and that's kind of that's kind of what he reminded me of, to be honest. But you know, DDP, when he first came in, like into the UFC, me and D-Rose both were like, who is this guy? Like, that's like upset that like he's not like more known than Conor McGregor. You know,
take it to Placey. Remember my name. Yeah. Hey, he was right though.
Yeah, he's a champ now, dude. All right. So with that being said, let's move on. We've got Gaston Bolaños, Cortavius Ramius.
Dude, if you're cool, can you take this for? Dude, I had to take a piss break. I'm not gonna lie. Can you take this just for a second?
Sure, good man. I'm going to be honest. That fight kind of sucked back and forth. But could have maybe gone the other way, but I wasn't mad at the decision either way, just because, you know, I don't know. That fight just wasn't the best, in my opinion. This one right here, really kind of screwed everyone. Luana Pinheiro versus Jillian Robertson, because I know most people were on Jillian Robertson to finish Luana Pinheiro, and I have to get DeRose's opinion when he gets back on this. But I personally thought that Luana Pinheiro was probably up the first 2 rounds. And, I could see the judges giving Jillian the second round because, I think it was the second round. But in the third round, Jillian Robertson immediately comes out, gets Luana Pinheiro down, and you hear Dean Thomas in the corner say, "It's a wrap. You're done. She's going to finish her now." And so even Dean Thomas thought that Jillian Robertson was going to finish Luana Pinheiro, dude. But for some reason, Jillian Robertson isn't able to get the TKO or the sub. She subs everyone, but was able to. Luana Pinheiro was able to stay safe enough on the ground, not get submitted. So Jillian Robertson gets the decision win, burned most people, to be honest. Mansour Abdul Malik taking on Dusko Todorovic. This went exactly how I thought it was going to go. Dusko Todorovic, as I said last week, he pretty much is the second person behind Johnny Walker for getting the most comically, laughably knocked out that there is. His chin is just, his neck is just up in the air when he just gets knocked out. I'm not saying it looks funny, but if there was a fighter to be funny when they got knocked out, it would be Dusko Todorovic and Johnny Walker. So moving on down to the prelims, we've got Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Denise Gomes. I was on Denise Gomes to finish Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and D-Rose is back, so I'll get your opinion on this, D-Rose. Cortavius Ramius, Gaston Bolaños. Did you really care about that one, or no?
I wasn't heavily invested in it, but I was thinking that Cortavius Ramius was going to get the win. But Bolaños fought well. His kickboxing came out kind of what I saw from him in his Bellator fights from before. Decent fight, but solid win for Bolaños.
And the one that burned most people was Jillian Robertson not finishing Luana Pinheiro, dude. I personally thought Luana Pinheiro may have been up 2 rounds going into the third. I was like, dude, Jillian needs a finish to win this fight. And then third round starts. Jillian takes down Luana Pinheiro, and you hear Dean Thomas say, "That's a wrap. It's over." Like, he knows, that's all that she needed, because Luana is gassed. She gasses. And now Jillian is on top with 4 minutes left in the round, dude. But Jillian Robertson not able to get the finish, dude. I know it burned a lot of people. Did it burn you?
Yeah, no, it did. I definitely I had Jillian Robertson sub rounds 2 or 3, and so I was, I had that one
finish, dude.
Yeah, I had her submission round 2 or 3 because I was like, round 1's going to be a little tough. Pinheiro is going to give her a little bit of a fight, but end up gassing there, as the fight went on. But I will say, Pinheiro, she did. She fought a lot more calm and collected, and she did not. I don't think she really gassed. I just thought Jillian was just the better grappler there in the third round. But I don't think Pinheiro gassed in any means, and she didn't quit either. That was a lot of the big criticism was that when things aren't going her way, she can kind of tap out. But I thought even though in the third round, when Jillian Robertson did have top control for a majority of it. Pinheiro was doing everything she could to fight her way out of it. So it was a solid defensive performance from Pinheiro, but I thought Jillian Robertson was the rightful victor.
Oh yeah. And Mansour Abdul Malik knocked out Dusko Todorovic in the first round. I mean, that's exactly what I said was going to happen last week. Just because right behind Johnny Walker for comically getting knocked out is Dusko Todorovic, and dude, I really don't know how he's on the UFC roster, if I'm going to be honest, dude.
Just for that purpose, right there, to basically be the guy to get cartoonishly knocked out and kind of be on somebody's highlight reel, pretty much. Yeah.
And Denise Gomes, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, dude, I feel like Denise Gomes hurt Karolina every third punch she threw, dude, but then she would just clinch up with her against the fence, dude. And then I'm like, after the first round, I'm like, this shit's going to decision. It's like she's mollywopping her. Carolina's backing up like, shit, that hurt. And then she would just get clinched and survive, dude. So kind of bummed out about that one. Zachary Scoggins, you know, I don't want to say, you know, give remnants to the old the old one wasn't called Marathon MMA, but you know, the old James Krause gyms, you know, Trey Ogden and them, and I don't want to say Zach Scroggins took a dive this weekend, but what even happened, dude? Like he just like fell down and was like, yeah, I'm done. I mean, there was no money on that one anyway, to be honest. So what would you even win there? This is one that I know, and I want to get your opinion on this, dude, because I don't know what happened, dude. It's almost like fucking Semi the Jedi. I was a fan of him, dude. I'm still a fan of him, but it's almost like he's kind of broken now, I guess. It's like fucking Charlie Radke touched him one time and he was like, oh no, and it was just backing up and then eventually just ended up getting fucking snoozed, dude. So I was like, well, that's shameful. Thoughts on that one, man?
Yeah, I was actually more curious on your perspective, but yeah, no, I definitely thought that you know, Charles Radke, I thought he had the path of victory, but I did not see it coming that way and not that easily. I mean, I thought the fight was I don't want to say it was stopped like super early, but I thought it could have kept going maybe like a second or two longer. It did seem like Semelsberger was still kind of with it. I mean, even though he was clearly hurt, but he was able to stand back up pretty quick and seemed to have all his bearings when he was standing up. But yeah, that was rough to watch, man, to see Semelsberger to get ran over like he did. You know, kind of considering that, you know, the good start that he had coming into the UFC and the big knockout power that he had to kind of turn into what he's turned into now, man. It's it's rough to watch.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened there. And then Damon Blackshear gets the round one submission over Cody Stamann. Don't want to say I called that one, but Cody Stamann does love getting submitted. And that was the one that saved me from the 3 beans on the pick champ because the 2 before that, or the Semi the Jedi and Chuck Buffalo was in the pick champ. Damon Blackshear versus Cody Stamann was in there, and so was Trayshawn Gore versus Antonio Trocoli, dude. I still not impressed by Trayshawn Gore, even in the slightest, dude. I'm more of just questioning how does this jiu-jitsu black belt get standing fucking guillotined by Trayshawn Gore in the first fucking 45 seconds of the fight. I'm like, okay, well, cool. You know, like, I guess
Trocoli's not that guy.
Nope, not that guy. But I guess we'll see where Trayshawn Gore goes, man. I've kind of picked against them this past weekend, and I still haven't really learned from him though. We don't know if he's improving or not, so it's kind of like I don't know. The jury's kind of still out on Trayshawn Gore at this point. And one that ruined a bunch of my bets, the first fight of the night, Melissa Mullins versus Melissa Dixon gets the second round TKO over Claudia Segula, dude. I had her sub 2 or 3 in a few parlays, dude, because she's like no-gi world champion, dude. She was styling all over this girl that had no clue what to do on the ground and ends up pinning her arm down and just ground and pounding her in the second round instead. So lots of the right picks, lots of the right reads, just not the right things came through that I needed to happen this past weekend. I believe I went 8 of 13 on the fight, so not terrible, but you know, could have for sure done better. D-Rose, thoughts on the card overall as a whole? And yeah, you ready for me to eat these damn beans?
No, I definitely am ready for that, the latter. But no, it's a solid card, and I mean, for as lackluster a matchup as there were, a lot of finishes, man. So it actually made the pace of the card go by really quick, even though it was a little bit of a later start. Hell, at a certain point, they just almost had to just keep putting promotion up for Stipe versus John this weekend because they were like, well, damn, we need something to fill in the time. You know, we got all this TV time. We need to do something with it. So,
dude, yeah, lots of finishes.
But yeah, no, lots of finishes, man. So pretty good way to round out the last card and what we know as the apex for it to be right now.
Yeah, we got Antoine. Sorry I'm late. It's all right, Antoine. I'm glad you're stopping in here tonight, my guy. We got Dave Fish for days. I want to see Brian battle versus Trayshawn. Get that tough. Didn't they fight or no? Or is it was just
I'm pretty sure they did.
scheduled? I thought so. I thought they fought. Dave. Let's see here.
I thought they did at least. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Brian Battle won a decision.
Let's see. I don't want to be wrong, but I could have swore I remember them fighting. Brian Battle, yeah, he lost via decision. It was a UFC Fight Night 200, Jack Hermanson versus Sean Strickland, February 2022. That's what I thought.
Yeah, that sounds right.
If I remember correctly, Trayshawn backed out of the fight. Yeah, but then they end up fighting. Dave, it's all right. How did y'all football teams do over? Yeah, I know Antoine, but D Rose is a Cowboys fan, so I'm gonna ask him how he's doing.
Really, you gonna ask me?
All right,
Cowboys fan, man, come on.
Let me eat these beans real quick. All right, this past weekend we had 3 different picks and only 3 different picks. We didn't have to throw any out. It was Antonio Tricali versus Trayshawn Glore, Damon the Monster Blackshear versus Cody the Spartan Stamen, and Matthew Semi the Jedi Semmelsberger versus Chuck Buffalo. I was on Anton Tricali, Blackshear, and Semi the Jedi. D Rose was on Trayshawn Gore, Cody Stamen, and Chuck Buffalo. So D Rose got 2 out of the 3, which means that I am eating. Which means that I am eating the beans.
Oh man, they're stuck together too. Oh man, I hear that.
First one is stink bugger marshmallow, I believe. Here we go, dude. Let's get the show out of the way.
I mean, you get lucky by getting that one.
It's not. No,
it's not.
Both of them's bad. I don't like it either way.
Oh,
that was not good. That one's not good.
Oh no!
I wanted to get that shot out of the way, dude.
Oh, we saw the stream.
I don't care.
And we ain't talking about the live stream. Oh,
dude, it's so nasty. It's the shit's in my fucking teeth, dude. All right, let's give me a blue one. Blue one, please. Give me a blue one, please.
Running through these.
What's that one? Pink. What's the pink one? The pink one. I think it's the Stinky Socks or Tutti Frutti, dude. Stinky Socks taste bad too, dude. I really hope it's a Tutti Frutti. It's pink, and I see a green, and a red, and a blue, and a yellow dot on it. So I guess.
Yes. You sure it's not dirty dishwater?
It looks pink more than it does white, so that's why I say.
Okay.
God, please be a good one, dude. I don't want Stinky Socks.
2 for 2. Oh, 2 for 2. Oh,
dude. Dude.
Oh, you can hear the big splash.
Dude. Why do I get dude? I swear, my box, dude, it's not fair because I swear your box had like nothing but good beans in it, dude. And then fucking my box, I swear to God, every bean tastes bad. Like you get so many beans, you're like, oh, that's a good one. And I feel like every week I'm fucking throwing up over here. It's not fair, dude.
Nah, I had a booger not that long ago, bro. I almost ended up, I ended up like dry heaving on here too. Like, nah, I've definitely had a few rough ones.
Every week about
you get a really bad one though. You do like I'll get like a bad, but you managed to get like one really bad one that like end up taking you over.
Oh God! Here we go. Sorry, I missed it. He said some.
Bro, that was rough, man.
Oh God, damn, I missed a lot. Here we go. Back to where I was at. Anyway, Jets L like usual. I need some lower percentage. Fuck the Saints. Fermented schmegma bean coming. That's dude. That dirty. That's stinky socks, dude. I don't know if you've had that one yet, D-Rose. Have you had that one?
Yeah, no, I've had that one. It's rough, but it's on the lower tier for me, and it's not dishwater, booger, or dead fish. I think those are the three goats in terms of the worst.
I will never forget what the that dirty Band-Aid tastes like, man. That shit is so nasty. Matt's likelihood of getting bad beans is honestly baffling, dude. I don't understand. Like, I am so happy when I get a good bean. I'm pleasantly surprised, dude. I'm like, oh my God, I got a good. I come on here just expecting that box has nothing but shitty beans in it, dude. It doesn't make sense.
You already mentally prepare yourself that you're going to get at least one.
Yeah, and dude, do you remember the one time that I didn't? I put it back. I was like, you know what? I've had two good ones. Let me put this blue one back. I purposely got a bad one to make you guys feel happy. And D-Rose like, you're an idiot. I would have never done that.
Hell nah.
No shot.
Hell nah. That's why, because you would get a whole bunch of them at once. That's why I said just draw the one. Just make it easy.
All right, D-Rose. Let's get
Make
into
it
the
painless.
news. Let's get into the news for this week. So, let me share my screen. Oh, well, wrong one. I believe it's this. Yeah. All right. So
Rough, man.
we don't need to share our audio. We can put it up here, dude. So Tracy Cortez is out of her fight against Miranda Maverick, dude. Who is this? Is this Tony and Khabib at this point, dude? Tracy and Miranda Maverick are never going to fight. But with that being said, Tracy Cortez is out. Miranda Maverick will now face Jamie Lynn Horth at UFC Tampa on December 14th. Jamie Lynn Horth fought in Canada a couple weeks ago. She's going to be fighting in Tampa on December 14th. What's your thoughts on this fight? Because Jamie Lynn Horth, big physical girl, but you know we are fans of Miranda Fear, the Maverick over here. What's your thoughts on the fight, man?
Yeah, no, exactly. As you said, Jamie Lynn Horth, she's a big physical chick, but I do like some Miranda Maverick, and I do think that she has a path of victory in terms of the wrestling, but we have seen her kind of maybe against Erin Blanchfield and against Jazz Zavicius, she had some slip ups in some of these matchups, and I mean I think the Jazz Zavicius fight was a little bit of a tough matchup for her in general too. But we have seen some shortcomings in against the bigger girls, and Miranda Maverick is not the biggest flyweight herself, so that is an interesting fight style-wise.
Yeah, I agree. Interested though. That's not too far apart from where we're at, dude. Less than a month. We've got Miles Johns versus Felipe Lima. That's D-Rose's favorite fighter to get confused with every other Felipe in the UFC. That's also going to be on UFC Tampa December 14th. Miles Johns was going to fight Cody Garbrandt a couple weeks ago. What's your thoughts on this one?
It should be a solid fight. Miles Johns is a big puncher, and Felipe Lima, was that the dude who
Felipe
and I know I mix him up. I kept mixing him up with everybody, dude. Is that the one who took the fight on short notice on the Abu Dhabi card, like up at 45? Is that him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I had the right dude that time. Dude. I mean, Felipe Lima, he looked awesome in that debut fight, and taking the fight up a weight class too. So him down at 135, I can definitely see him being a problem, man. So should be a good fight.
Here we go, dude. Jimmy the Brute Crute back in the UFC to fight none other than another fan favorite in Marcin Bracknell. UFC 312, February 8th, dude. I know Sydney cannot wait for this one. So what's your thoughts on this shit, man?
Yeah, I know one of your favorite fighters is back, and Marcin Bracknell. giving us one of the best barn burners of all time with him and William Knight, man. I mean, just absolute barn burner. Y'all need to go back on UFC Fight Pass and look at that fight if you haven't seen it. But I do think this is a good rebound spot here for Jimmy Crute. I haven't, as you said, haven't seen him in a while. No, he said he wanted to kind of, step away, take some time, and kind of
pretty sure he took off his
recalibrate.
gloves and retired.
Oh, he kind of semi-retired. Yeah, I mean, you might as well say he did, but yeah, he basically just said he, kind of wanted to take a step away and kind of see where he was at, and maybe he's in the right headspace now and kind of in that right training moment now, so he can kind of, get his momentum back, because he had a little steam there for a little bit at light heavyweight, with it being kind of a lighter division. But he kind of lost a couple in a row and he never really got it back. So hopefully in this Prachnio fight, he can kind of get that groove back.
Austin not going to to sleep though. Anyway, so excited for the Marcin Prachnio Jimmy Crute fight. Oh goodness. Also on the same card is Quinlan Skowkild, and he is going to be fighting, I believe, the busted Indian prospect Angel Jubilee after he got barked at by Mike Breeden. That's also going to be UFC 312 February 8th. What you think about that one?
Solid fight, but I'm not gonna lie. I actually thought Angel Jubilee. I know the dude that he, as you said,
Mike
I
Breeden.
already just forgot his name. Yeah, Breeden. He got cut after that fight, which is crazy. I know he lost. I know he missed weight going into that fight, but yeah, he ended up getting cut. Versus where Angel Jubilee, I thought Jubilee was going to get cut, but I know apparently they had some high hopes for him, man. So but who knows? But yeah, I'm not too interested in this fight. I just thought he got cut.
Fair enough. UFC 312 as well. We got Ray Sayora taking on Stuart Nickel. You care about that one at all?
Not really.
Fair enough. We'll move on to the next one. That is
they're announcing a lot of fights for that card, though, aren't they?
Yep. Narulo Aliyev taking on Yanal Ashmos. That's UFC 101, UFC Vegas 101, January 11th. So it looks like UFC ain't going to be back in the Apex until January 11th, dude.
Yeah, dude, that's actually crazy. I'm wondering what they're going to end up doing with the facility in general. I mean, I know they're saying they're supposed to be adding like a crowd and stuff like that, but you just wonder how much, and are they going to really change it from the format of how because I know they like kind of like that small gym type of environment with the Contender Series. Do you want to kind of make that seem like it's big time? That'll be interesting to see, but I'll be interested to see how that card kind of unfolds.
Dude, eventually I just want to go to one of these Apex cards just to see what it's like, man. I think it'll be cool, but they're so fucking expensive for the worst fucking fight cards. So I just can't. I just can't see myself.
You can't justify it, man.
Yeah.
The Sphere, okay, yeah, it was worth it because you had some badass fighters on there. You had your favorite fighter. Okay, cool. Yeah, you cannot justify that with Carlos Prates versus Neil Magny. I don't care how good the card was. Cannot justify paying $1,200-$1,400 to see that card
per ticket, dude. So you need two of them. Yeah. So
right.
Here we go. We've got Edson Barboza taking on Mean Machine Steve Garcia, February 22nd, man. Kind of booked a little bit out now. One, do you think this fight happens? And two, early thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think there's a possibility of it happening. And when did you say either February 22nd? That does seem like they have been kind of booking fights out, but I guess if you think about it, it is, halfway through November. So I mean, that is just 3 months from now. So as much as we say it's far away, when you actually break it down, it's actually not that far. But no, I think that's actually a good fight, and for as long as it can last, because man, Steve Garcia, that dude's been an absolute wrecking ball, just running through everybody. And man, if there's one way you can get to Edson is using your forward pressure against him, and that's one thing that Steve Garcia is going to be doing is moving forward with big shots. So it should be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick another Steve Garcia first round kill, to be honest, dude. That's he just keeps doing it, dude.
Yeah, literally, it's crazy.
Christian Rodriguez is returning against Austin Bashy, dude. So, in my opinion, Christian Rodriguez is gonna turn away another young prospect. I'm surprised UFC doing this. not sure on this one. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, it just seems like they make Christian Rodriguez kind of like the prospect killer at this point, because everybody that they're kind of hyped on, they're like, okay, yeah, you beat this guy, you can move on up, and I mean, it's almost like he's too young to be a gatekeeper, but that's kind of the role that they're putting him in. But yeah, C-Rod's good, man. He's tough to beat, so kind of good everywhere. He's a little smaller for 145.
Mhm.
But man, he's still got the skills, man. So especially if he's fighting kind of contender, or not contender, but prospect type competition.
I got you. All right, dude. What the fuck do we have here? Dude, there's no way he's back. They're going to give him another shot?
Yeah.
D Rose's favorite
His hottest
fighter
fire.
since we started the podcast. He has a love for none other than Hamdi Abdelwahab. Beat my guy, and then that's where the don't maze came from. Yeah, it was completely pumped full of air, every steroid known to man. Ended up beating Dontel Mays, and then got popped. And I thought UFC cut him, but he's back. They need heavyweights apparently. He's an Olympic wrestler, so he's solid. And he is going to be taking on Jamal Pogues with the worst. Dude, they did him so dirty with that photo. What the fuck, dude? They got. He's like the Walmart brand Wolverine at this point. Like if you bought a Wolverine wig from Dollar Tree, that's what it would look like, dude.
To be fair, he did his hair like that. They just took the picture. He did his hair like that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But Jamal Pogue's going to have a giant size advantage and a jab advantage, as where Hamdi going to have a wrestling advantage. This is going to be UFC Saudi Arabia, February 1st. D Rose, what's your thoughts on your guy returning?
Yeah, the king is back, baby. The king is back. Hamdi Abdelwahab. Yeah, man. I mean, it should be a terrible fight. Probably. Very much so would be a terrible fight. Yeah, I can just say it'd be flatly terrible.
All right, here we go. Lucas Almeida out. We knew that. David Onama will now face Roberto Romero this weekend. So that's our last one for the news right there. But we ain't done with all the news. Let's move over to here instead. Let's go on to MMA Orbit. Shout out MMA Orbit for always having some news for us to cover. Stipe Miocic fight shorts. You like them this week?
Yeah. I love how. Are you going to? Is it going to be
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of them?
Yeah, I'm gonna show all of them.
Let's go ahead and take a. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a pic of these and. Yeah, but Stipe coming in with the Croatian flag.
Yeah, he's working a power out. And then we've got Michael Chandler's. Of course, Michael Chandler's going to wear that. That's my only opinion. Of course, Michael Chandler's going to wear that.
Of course he does. Of course he would. But I actually saw him do like a video where he was kind of wearing them, and they actually look fire. Like him wearing them, like they actually look fire. I can see why he likes them.
And then Charles Du Bronx, dude. This looks dope. It's like some stained glass, but also looks like favelas as well. I think those are pretty dope. What's your thoughts on those?
Yeah, no, absolutely fire, dude. And as you said, the specific design and stuff like that too, man. That's and they got the Du Bronx on there as well.
Yeah,
Not even
dude.
just Oliveira, but Du Bronx. Yeah, that's fire.
That's dope. That's dope. And then there's all four of them. All four of them. John Jones is there at the top with a tattoo that he has on his chest with the Bible verse. It's so weird to me, dude. Why do they do that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they fed into his ego too much with that one. But I do love the lion on there too. I mean, that's absolutely badass, man, and it kind of feeds into I know he said that's his favorite animal and everything. So and I love the UFC just doing these custom design shorts now to kind of set a little bit of personality in these things, man, because that's what we were kind of missing there for a little bit. Feel like it was such uniformity to where everybody had to wear the same thing. But I love that they're giving these opportunities to kind of stand out and show a little more character.
I agree, man. Super dope. So that's the press conference details. So yeah, right. That ain't happening.
Not a chance.
John Jones says, "Don't call me Bones, call me Meaty." Let's see what else. Yeah, dude. Now that Michael Chandler's up here on the screen, what happened last week? Because we were hearing news that the fight was off, and I seen it earlier this week too, dude. Michael Chandler looks like he got some staph infection, but pretty normal that we get a staph infection like the week of a pay-per-view. Forces one of the big fights being in jeopardy, so not too surprising. What's your thoughts on the fight still being on now?
Yeah, kind of par for the course was people getting staff going into big pay-per-view fights at this point. Kind of just what you expect. But Chandler seems to be full steam ahead and looking to be ready to go. Yeah, the most outright citizen, right? But yeah, I mean, Chandler seems like he's ready to go. So I mean, nobody said anything about it being canceled officially, and he's still going through with it, man. So I'm just going to assume that he's ready to go. And I heard him in an interview with Ariel Helwani, and he seemed fired up.
Yeah, I agree. Newly crowned one heavyweight champion, Rug has called out Francis Ngannou, dude. That dude, that's just a big guy. Yeah. Blonde Charles Oliveira has arrived in New York this week. And I guess before we get to it, D-Rose, before we get to the fights this weekend, I know we all expect John Jones to retire after the fight this weekend, but if he was to fight one more time, I could see it being against Alex, dude. I do think John respects Alex enough to, I guess if he was to lose, he would transform his legacy, if you will, over to Alex. But at the same time, I think John Jones sees enough holes in Alex's game to where if he wins, he could be like, "Hey, Alex, you want to try to get 3 belts? Come and get it." Some fucking shit like that, dude. If we see John Jones fight one more time, I think it's against Alex. I don't think we see John fight Tom, but I know that's not a surprise to anyone. What's your thoughts on my statement, D-Rose?
Yeah, I definitely think that second part of it is the most true. And that's definitely the part that Alex, while he's a dangerous fighter, John does see holes in his game. And I do think that he can see that wrestling, he can take advantage of that. And, John is a very calculated dude and fighter, and he does a lot in terms of film study and staying up on his opponents and stuff like that. And I'm sure he's probably watched a lot of film on Alex Pereira as well, and knows exactly where he can take advantage of him. So, yeah, I think that's, he at this point in his career, he's being very careful about taking, very calculated fights. And this is one of them that, he's kind of thrown out there that while there is risk, he's pretty good at risk management, man.
What's your thoughts at the rumors coming in the fight week that he's only like 238 this week? Do you think he maybe maybe fight back down at 205 a little bit?
Man, well, I saw where they were showing the picture. I guess they were taking pictures of them in the shorts, and I did see physique wise, and he did look pretty slimmed up. I mean, I think I more attribute that to just the opponent that he's fighting, just because Stipe is typically one that walks around in a lighter weight as well and tries to use this. He's already a pretty big guy, so he doesn't need to come in super overweight.
All right. I
was just distract me here for a second. I didn't realize yeah, I didn't realize what had happened here. But yeah, no, I think more or less John is managing his weight because Stipe is the guy who Stipe is probably going to come in at 235, 240 at the most. So I think John's just trying to match him speed for speed.
Gotcha. Alexa Grasso broke her leg, dude. So she's going to be out for a little bit. Sad to see from one of my faves.
Damn. Yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, hopefully a speedy recovery, man. That sucks.
Yeah. John Jones custom shorts.
That's dirty.
UFC going to be returning to Europe. I believe I saw March for England, dude, which makes me happy because maybe I can win some money again, dude. That seems to be when the here it is, March 22nd. That seems to be when I win my big parlays is the England card. So just gotta wait till March, dude. Not too much longer.
Yeah, the English crowds know how to sway a judge, man. I swear.
Yeah, dude. Yep. Aspen on his way. All right. Anyway, let's see if we got anything new here. Where are we at?
I'd like to see Moicano versus Patty.
Oh
Pillman,
yeah,
main event card, but
this real quick. Got to get your thoughts on this before we get into the fights this weekend. What's your thoughts on the UFC using the old gloves this weekend, and also at a few fights in the next pay-per-view as well? That's the news that I heard. Like, so it's almost like they're like, yeah, fuck these gloves. But which is wild because there were a lot of finishes this past weekend, dude.
Did they explain why?
Nope. What I heard was that there are a lot of veterans on the card this weekend, and a lot of them prefer the old gloves over the new gloves. So they're going to use the old gloves. That's what the official story is. But probably, dude, here's what cracks me up just a little bit. They brought out these new gloves to get rid of eye pokes, right? That was their sole reason for bringing out these new gloves. How funny is it that the most notorious eye poker, you're not even using the new gloves for? Like, not for him though. We need the old gloves for gloves for John Jones. We need this.
You actually took the words right out my mouth, because that's actually what I was going to say. Was that I mean, it just seems kind of convenient that a guy, as you said, notorious for eye pokes, has admitted to intentionally eye poking his opponents. I know he's kind of like saying it tongue in cheek. He wasn't being super serious about it, but at the same time, yeah, you were, man, because you know that you've done it plenty of times purposely before. So, man, they move hell and earth for John Jones, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that seems to be all of them. So we will move to the fights for this upcoming weekend. It is UFC 309. Gonna be here. Let me get it on the screen so I don't say it wrong. So this upcoming weekend, we have UFC 309 taking place Saturday, November 16th. Prelims first fight is at 6 p.m. East Coast time. Going to be taking place at Madison Square Garden in New York, United States. We've got 13 fights to go over, headlined by the greatest of all time, Johnny Bones Jones, taking on Stipe Miocic. We've got Charles Do Bronx Oliveira taking on Iron Michael Chandler. We've got Bo Nickel taking on Paul Krieg. We've got Killer Karine Silva taking on Viviane Araujo. We've got Mauricio One-Shot Hoofy taking on James Yantop, or Machine Gun Face, as I like to call him. We've got Jonathan Dragon Martinez taking on Marcus the Maniac McGee. We've got the All-American Chris Weidman taking on Eric ya boy Anders. We've got Jim fucking Miller taking on Jamin Action, or the Leech Jackson, whichever one he's going by this week. We've got Roberto Romero on short notice taking on one of D Rose's favorite fighters to pick, David O'Neill, my dude. And you love his celebrations too, dude. It's so unique. No one else does them. We've got Marcin Tybura taking on Janata Janice. We've got Mickey Gall taking on Ramesh Brahimaj. Oban Elliott taking on Basil Hafez. And the first fight of the night is Veronica Hardy taking on Eduardo Mora, dude. So that's where we'll start at the first fight of the night. I guess before we get started, though, what's your thoughts on the card as a whole? You want to give it a grade, D Rose?
Card's a little top heavy. I ain't gonna lie. Card's a little top heavy, but and I think it's just because it feels like there's so many squash matches on the pay-per-view, like Hoofy and Yantop, and I mean, I think they're all like, Yantop can maybe give a good tough fight, but and Bo Nickel and Paul Craig, and I think the main card could be a little bit better. I know you want to have pretty good prelims, so that way you entice people who might not have thought about paying for the pay-per-view to, maybe go ahead and pony up. But I thought maybe Marcus McGee and Jonathan Martinez could have been on the main card, because I think that's a really good fight. But maybe that's me kind of nitpicking. I'll give the card I'll give it a B, because I still like the top two fights for the most part.
All right, fair enough. Fights that fell off the card were Nikita Krylov versus Azamat Mirzakhanov, Carlos Prates versus Randy. I fucking knew that was a fight, D-Rose. I knew I wasn't crazy. Carlos Prates, Randy Brown was originally scheduled for this fight, dude. For this card. Charlie Campbell versus Mauricio Hufi, that would have been a banger, and David Onama versus Lucas Almeida. So a couple of those still on here, though. So we'll move to the first fight of the night. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this. We've got Veronica Hardy taking on Eduardo Ronda Mora. I think we've got enough Rondas in the UFC, but let's get into it. Let me get my odds pulled up, unless you got yours pulled up, D-Rose. There, it's all right. I got them. I'm here. So first fight of the night, Veronica Hardy is currently minus 156, your favorite. Eduardo Mora plus 122, your underdog. Makes sense to me. Veronica Hardy's 29 years old, 5'4", 64-inch reach, while Eduardo Mora is 30 years old, 5'6", and a 66-inch reach. But we saw Veronica Hardy against Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm pretty sure we've seen her be a smaller fighter against every girl that she's gone up against in the past few fights. On the other hand, you see right here, Eduardo Mora usually fights down at 115, but I think she's missed weight both times. And Denise Gomes was mollywopping her up, even though she did miss weight. So she's moving up to 125 here, so she's not going to have to cut as much weight. So it's going to be an interesting fight, dude, because for sure on the feet, it's going to be clear as day, dude. Veronica Hardy is going to outstrike, going to have way cleaner footwork. My only issue is if Eduardo Mora gets her down, dude, can she just lay on her? Probably, dude. Tough fight, to be honest. And this is, I think, the second time we've seen Hardy as a slight favorite, dude. I like her as dog money a lot more, dude, but I'm still going to be going with Veronica Hardy via decision. I still think that she could probably get out from under her and not get taken down 2 of the rounds, maybe. So give me Veronica Hardy to outpoint Eduardo Mora. Let's say 29-28. Which way are you going here, man?
I am with you in terms of thinking that that it's a well contested fight. Dave ain't lying. Yeah, go ahead and order your pizza. Go ahead and do what you gotta do on that. Yeah, there you go. Your piss break fight, your pizza break fight. This is it. But just in terms of how they match up, I do think it's a well matched fight, and I think that Eduardo Mora, her striking's okay, but where she really wants to get the fight down to is she wants to get the fight down to the ground, whereas Veronica Hardy wants to obviously keep it a distance. Kind of work her striking. She got pretty decent boxing, got a pretty nice jab, good leg kicks. I think Veronica Hardy, for me, I just think she has enough tools in the tool bag and is used to fighting at this weight class now. And where Eduardo Mora is used to kind of, I don't want to say be a weight bully, but to a certain extent, because she had a really tough time making 115, which is why she's moving up now. So I think Veronica Hardy
is still going to be the bigger girl.
I think she's still going to be the bigger girl physically, but is she, just because she's bigger, does that mean she's going to be stronger, And I think even with her being bigger, I think that could lead to Veronica Hardy having the speed advantage, and I can see that giving Eduardo Mora some issues. So I think in a well-contested fight, I think Veronica Hardy gets the decision.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Veronica Hardy via decision this week. So we'll move on to the next fight, being Oban Elliott taking on Basil Hafez. So the Welsh gangster, Oban Elliott, is 11-2 overall, 26 years old, 6 foot, and a 72-inch reach, while Basil, the Habibi Hafez, is 32 years old, 5'11", and a 72-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight, plus 200 for Basil Hafez, and Oban Elliott, minus 265. This one might be one of the ones you was talking about this week, where you maybe kind of feeling a dog this weekend. I could see it, maybe, I guess, but I think what impressed me a lot was in Oban Elliott's last fight. He has solid takedown defense, dude, and he didn't seem to gas at all. He looked good the whole fight, and Basil Hafez goes really, really hard trying to get these takedowns, and I could see personally him gassing against Oban Elliott. I don't think he's going to get finished or anything like that, because I think he is very, very tough. But give me Oban Elliott to stuff the takedowns, have a solid jab, solid leg kick, and just to beat Basil Hafez. Let's go 30-27 across the board, dude. Give me Oban Elliott to win via decision. Which way are you going here?
Yeah, this is one that I do think that it's the betting line is about right in terms of what they're showing here on top. What's the betting line for?
Plus 200 Basil Hafez, minus 265 Oban Elliott.
That's crazy. I was about to say, from what it opened at, I'm assuming that's what the line of Tapology is versus what it is now. Ooh, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, now at that line, I'm going to say it's going to be worth taking Basil Hafez. But man, I do think, just in terms of that last fight, how he looked against Mickey Gall, I'm not gonna lie, not that impressive, man. And I know, close fight with JDM or whatever, but yeah, I mean, JDM really, where he kept screwing himself was that he kept going for the guillotine and putting himself willingly in bad positions.
Yeah.
And it was like he just kept doing it over and over again, kind of doing the Dustin Poirier thing, but wasn't getting himself out of bad positions. But I do think Oban Elliott, I think he's got the better wrestling overall. As you said, showed good cardio in that last fight against Preston Parsons, which Preston Parsons is going to be a guy who really tests your cardio and pace. Hey, they call him Pressure Preston for a reason, man. And I think Preston Parsons is honestly the better version of Basil Hafez. So yeah, give me Oban Elliott by decision.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Oban Elliott. We'll move on to the next one. Moving through these, we've got Mickey Gall taking on Ramiz Brahimaj. Haven't seen him in a while, but haven't missed him, got to be honest. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 132 for Mickey Gall and plus 106 for Ramiz Brahimaj. Mickey Gall, 7-6 overall, 32 years old, 6'2", and a 74-inch reach, while Ramiz Brahimaj, 31 years old, 5'10", and a 73-inch reach. Yeah, D-Rose, this is Ramiz Brahimaj, where he has a round to get you down and submit you, and if he don't do that, then he's gonna gas, dude. But the issue is he's going up against Mickey Gall, that's also a really good grappler himself, that's going to be much bigger. And dude, if this is on the feet, dare I say Mickey Gall's the better striker here. So yeah, as crazy as it sounds, I see why Mickey Gall is the favorite, and I will be picking Mickey Gall to win this fight. Let's go second, third round submission here. Which way are you going here, D-Rose?
This one was actually a kind of a tough fight for me to call. I'm not gonna lie, just because I can see a path to victory for. Honestly, I can see a path to victory for both. For me, I just think that Mickey Gall, I think he's a better offensive wrestler. But I think in terms of his defensive wrestling, I do think there's some holes there that he doesn't really have good get-ups or anything like that. So I have seen him controlled in certain fights. Like I remember Randy Brown back in the day, basically out-wrestled Mickey Gall for the most part. Yeah, I think as you said, Brahimaj, he's going to look to get the fight to the ground, man. And I think he's going to be able to do that against Mickey Gall. So give me Brahimaj here. This one will probably be a PBF as well, but I think it'll probably be a pretty slow, grinded out, wrestling, scramble fest type of fight. But give me Brahimaj here to get the win.
All right, that's our first different pick of the night. I'm on Mickey Gall. D-Rose is on Ramiz Brahimaj, dude. Oh, God, I hope it don't come down to that, dude. 7-6. Mickey Gall taking on 10-5 Ramiz Brahimaj, dude.
That's ugly, man.
Yeah, D-Rose. This probably goes to show more as to why there's no lines on fucking FanDuel, because they're probably still adding it, Nero's, because they're probably just late this week to getting shit added, because it looks like Tapology don't have any odds here either. So with that being said, we've got Marcin Tybura taking on Janata Janice. We've got Marcin Tybura 25-9 overall, 39 years old, 6'3" and a 78-inch reach, while Janata Janice is 33 years old, 6'4" and a 79.5-inch reach. Let me tell you what the odds are, because I gotta go on DK. Currently, odds for this fight, don't do that. I don't want to log in right now. Currently, odds for this fight are, where'd they go? Minus 148 for Marcin Tybura and plus 124 for Janata Denise. So the favorite, Marcin Tybura, minus 150, D-Rose. Tough fight, because I mean, we know how both fighters could win this fight, because Marcin Tybura he's a good fighter, dude. He's not great, but he does what he needs to do to win, unless you kind of just catch him, catch him early, like a Tom Aspinall knockout or a Sergey Spivak armbar, something that he's not expecting. I think he knows what's coming his way from Janata Janice this week. It's kickboxing, and that's it. If he don't get knocked out, dude, I think he's the much better grappler. He's the much better overall fighter. It's just, can he not get knocked out? Can he take down Janata Janice and control him? And I say yes. Let's go Marcin Tybura via decision this week. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually surprised that the line, it feels like it's kind of low for Tybura, because I think that's a line that you can take advantage of, man. Because I think Marcin Tybura, he's, as you said, he's got all the tools to win. Now, the only thing that does make me hesitate a little bit is that Marcin Tybura is coming in on short notice. But I said it for Johnson Janice's last fight going into Derek Lewis, before that fight ended up falling apart, was that, man, if Austin Lane was able to have pretty good success with the takedowns, I was thinking Derek Lewis could. I really think that Marcin Tybura could. Now, the only thing with him coming in on short notice, what is Tybura's gas tank going to look like? Because if Janice is able to stuff, let's say maybe the first two takedowns, does Tybura all of a sudden get that lactic acid buildup in his arms to all of a sudden where he can't really shoot anymore? And Janice does like to throw those flying knees every now and then as well. Can he catch Tybura with one of those? Potentially, but man, I still feel good about Tybura here. And man, I think Tybura can maybe even sneak out a submission here. So let's go Marcin Tybura.
All right, me and D-Rose both on Marcin Tybura this week. Yeah, I guess it just kind of scares me, because we know he can get knocked out, but you say the real question is what's his cardio like? I think the real question is, what haircut does he have this week? That's going to be the key deciding factor. Because if he
looks
has
like the same one,
shit,
man, he's
he has
rocking
that dumb shit on his head right now, dude.
over.
If that ain't him, dude, it ain't him a half comb over, it's a half shave, dude. If he's rocking that shit this week, he's probably going to get knocked out. So, pick still pending on that one. Let's move on to Roberto Romero, that I know nothing about. Didn't even know he was going to be fighting. We found that out right here. Going to be taking on David Onama. Not going to say that because I'm going to say it wrong. So, he's going to be taking on David Onama. Roberto Romero is 24 years old, 5'8" when we don't have a reach. David Onama is 30 years old, 5'11" and a 74-inch reach. This is your guy, D-Rose. Does he get to finish and shoot Roberto Romero with the Izzy arrows this week?
Yeah, I'm not man, as I said, I don't know much about Romero, so I'm not quite sure.
None of us do. He just got announced right now before the pod.
Yeah, so that's why, man, I don't know if Onama gets a finish. Could he potentially? But yeah, I'll have to say Onama for sure. Onama for sure. But
Yeah.
You know what?
With-
Screw it.
with no
yeah,
faith.
Dude taking the fight on short notice. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Onama by knockout.
Yeah, he's gonna have a big size advantage over him, 5'8" to 5'11". So we'll see. We'll see. He is the number 41 featherweight in North America. So it kind of makes me think that he was probably about to get signed to the UFC anyway. So I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully it's a fun fight. Me and D-Rose are both on David Onama this week, though. Moving on, we've got Jim fucking Miller taking on Damon the Leech Jackson. So currently odds for this fight, Jim Miller is plus 136, the underdog, as where Damon Jackson is minus 174, the favorite. Jim fucking Miller is 41 years old, 5'8" and a 71-inch reach, while the Leech, Damon Jackson, 36 years old, 5'11" and a 71-inch reach. D-Rose, I think I want to do the honors. I want to pass this one to you first, my guy. You want to break this one down and tell me who you're picking?
Yeah. This one, had to give one kiss goodnight there real quick. Yeah, no, I think this one, I think this is actually very interesting. And to see Damon Jackson move up, I didn't really regard him as someone who was a big featherweight. So seeing him move up to lightweight is pretty interesting. I know he's technically going to have the size advantage over Jim Miller.
He said because of the way he felt in the Chepe fight. Like, he just felt like he was way undersized. Like, he wasn't as strong as he could have been in the Chepe fight. But fucking Chepe also missed weight by like 5 pounds in that fight too. So I don't know.
Yeah, Chepe missed weight by a good little bit and whooped up on him a good little bit too. But I didn't necessarily think that weight class was the issue for Damon Jackson. Let's say that. So, and seeing that he's the favorite against Jim Miller, considering that Damon Jackson is chinny. We've seen him get knocked out plenty of times. Jim Miller has big power. I think Damon Jackson's best path to victory is going to be just trying to throw his jab and stay on that on that back foot. But Jim Miller's got some nasty leg kicks as well. Big power in the left hand of his. Good offensive wrestler himself. I don't see how Jim Miller is the underdog. I think Jim Miller gets it done, and I think that was Dave who said that. Yeah, I think by knockout as well. Yeah, give me Jim Miller here.
Well, D-Rose, I have to tell you that I'm with you, dude. I think this fight, I might sound crazy, dude, but if you just look at the Elia fight, dude, I think it probably looks a lot like that, dude. I know Jim Miller is not as fast, don't have as clean a boxing, but you just look at the shots that were landing on Damon Jackson from Elia, dude. It was these short, in-close hooks, dude. And you look how Jim Miller throws, dude. That's short, in-close hooks, dude. I think Jim Miller knocks him out this weekend. It wouldn't surprise me one single bit to see Damon Jackson snoozing, folded over, melted in the octagon in the first round, dude. Give me Jim Miller via knockout, dude. Let's go, Jim fucking Miller. And then let's go holding it down for Jersey boys tonight, says Dave. Let's go, Jim. Let's go, Jim Miller. Me and D-Rose both on Jim Miller. Moving on to the next one, we've got the All-American Chris Weidman taking on your boy, Eric Anders. Currently odds for this fight, minus 102 for Chris Weidman and minus 125 for Eric Anders. So Eric Anders, a little bit of a favorite. Chris Weidman, 40 years old, 6'2" and a 78-inch reach, while Eric Anders is 37 years old, 6'1" and a 75-inch reach. I didn't give you guys the records. Chris Weidman, 16-7. Eric Anders, 16-8. Yeah, tough one here because you know what, D-Rose? Did I pass you the last one first? Fuck, I passed you.
You can pass it to me first. I'll be fine
All right,
to break it
I'll
down.
go ahead and pass it to you, and I'll break it down. I'll ask you like this: who wins this cage push?
And that's the worst part is that you kind of took the words right out of my mouth, man. I think that's very much how this fight can play out as, because I think you got Eric Anders who's coming in and good athlete, of course. They talk about his college football background, playing for Alabama and this, that, and the third, and Chris Weidman being the All-American himself and, former champion and everything. We know Chris Weidman likes to fight. We know he's like the pressure wrestle box type of fighter. We know he's going to try to use his boxing, work his way in, and try to get some takedowns. Eric Anders, I thought a big part in his early career when he first got in the UFC was just kind of using his big power, big punches, big kicks. We've seen some nasty knockouts from him. But you've seen these last few fights where it just seems like that he's so focused on becoming such a well-rounded mixed martial artist that he's just kind of letting it's almost like he's focusing too much on the grappling, I think, instead of trying to mix everything up with the striking and the grappling. And for what I think that he's going to try to do, I think he's going to try to end up using a lot of wrestling, and I think that's going to play right into Chris Weidman's hands. I think that's, Chris Weidman is going to show to be the better wrestler. Now, I think who's got the better power between the two? I think Eric Anders. But let's be honest, I haven't really seen Eric Anders really put somebody's lights out like that in a while.
Dude, he almost got put out by Jamie Pickett a couple fights ago.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, yeah, I'm not super confident where Eric Anders is at right now, man. I think the way that he fights, I think it's going to feed right in the way Chris Weidman wants to fight. And I think Chris Weidman gets the decision victory here, man.
Yeah. Once again, I'm agreeing with you, D-Rose. We in Chris Weidman's hometown. I asked you who's going to win the cage push because I don't think Eric Anders is able to take down Chris Weidman. And I think Eric Anders is too sturdy of a man for Chris Weidman to get in on the hips and take him down, dude. So I really think this is going to be a cage push. And if this turns out to be a striking battle in the middle of the octagon, dude, give me Chris Weidman, throw a few eye pokes, as Dave said, throw a few leg kicks, just have the better, cleaner boxing, dude. But if he gets hit, may not look good, but yeah, like as you said, Eric Anders' power hasn't really been shown at all in his past few fights. And, he did get dropped by Jamie Pickett of all people. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was last fight or a few fights ago. So just not the best look. So I am with you, D-Rose. Give me the All-American, Chris Weidman. Let's go 3-year decision because I could see Eric Anders gassing a little bit, dude. This isn't 185. And if he comes in with a heavy wrestling approach, not able to get Chris Weidman down, I could see him gassing, dude. We got Kenneth saying, "What's up, guys? Hope you both are doing well." I am doing fantastic, Kenneth. Appreciate you stopping by here tonight, my guy. So me and D-Rose both on Chris Weidman. We'll move on to the next fight that is Jonathan Dragon Martinez, or the Jonathan Dragon Martinez, taking on Marcus the Maniac McGee. Fun fight, D-Rose. I'm excited for this one. This is probably the one that I'm most excited for on the prelims, but it is the main event of the prelims. So the Jonathan Dragon Martinez is 30 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach, while the Maniac Marcus McGee is 34 years old, 5'8", 69-inch reach. Marcus McGee got a little bit of a late start to his fighting career, but looked good the whole way doing it so far. 9-1 overall, 100% finish rate. Jonathan Martinez, 19-5 overall, and didn't look great against Jose Aldo. And then he had Adrian Yanez, and then what? Let's see.
He had the Saeed fight, right?
Yeah, honestly,
I thought he lost that fight.
Yeah, I agree too. So I do kind of think he's a little bit more overhyped. I do think he's I don't know how to say this. I'm a fan of him, but do I think that he's getting a little bit more respect more than what he deserves? Yeah, because that Jose Aldo fight, I think, was a real eye-opener for me, especially going on to see that I consider to be the same type of fighter in Mario Bautista go on to beat Jose Aldo. I know it was boring as shit, but it was at least competitive, as where Jose Aldo just clean sweep Jonathan Martinez. Wasn't even close. So the leg kicks, I feel like will be available for Marcus McGee, dude. He's got good in and out movement. He's for sure going to have the more power here, dude. And, dude, I just like the way that he fights. He's, as I said, 100% finish rate, comes in pressure forward style, wings, hooks, dude. Clean ass striking. Spins every now and then too, and's got solid calf kicks. So I do like me some Marcus the Maniac McGee this week. And I do think we see Marcus McGee. Let's go second round knockout, D-Rose. Let's keep his 100% finishing rate intact this week. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, man. I think this is a well-matched fight. And I think, as you said, the one that I'm probably the most excited about on the prelims, I think it's could be potentially a banger. And I was talking about I was talking about Marcus McGee last week, and how I picked Gaston Bolaños to beat him, and after that fight, I felt so dumb because I was like, man, I mean, that was Marcus McGee just ran right through him. I mean, just like a hot knife through butter. And for Jonathan Martinez, as you said in his last fight against Jose Aldo, he didn't look the greatest. And for me, I will tell you, like, I have not picked Jonathan Martinez many times in his fights. I've not been the biggest believer in him. Like, he does have nasty leg kicks, but he has gone to show that in his losses. Now, he went on a pretty good win streak there for a little bit. I think he went on like a 6-fight win streak or something like that. So he did kind of find his groove there. But man, if you're able to smother his kicks with pressure and boxing, man, his boxing is not that great at all. Jose Aldo was able to really put that pressure on him there in the second and third round and kind of make Jonathan Martinez wilt. It was even able to hurt him there in that third round. And I think Davey Grant was really able to do the same thing. He landed that nasty. Yeah, Davey Grant landed that nasty, the body head combo. I love those. Mm-hmm. Davey Grant was able to put that pressure on Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez gets hit if you can, get that pressure on him, man. And I think Marcus McGee is the guy who basically he's going to be walking forward. That is his game plan. He's got the power, and I think I think he ends up hurting Jonathan Martinez to get him out of there as well. Let's go. I'll also go second round knockout.
All right, fair enough. What kind of surprises me here, D Rose, is the height. Both guys 5'8". I expected Marcus McGee to be the shorter guy of the two. So if you're telling me that they're also going to be the same size coming into this fight, oh hell yeah, give me Marcus McGee all day, all day. All right, first fight of the main card. Yeah, first fight of the main card, we've got Mauricio One Shot Hoofy taking on James Goku Yantop, machine gun face, FFC tattooed on his neck. Mauricio Hoofy is 28 years old, 5'11", and 75-inch reach, fighting out of the Fighting Nerds. Those guys are on a roll at this point. James Yantop, 25 years old, 6 foot, and a 73-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight, minus 950 for Mauricio Hoofy and plus 540 for James Yantop. D-Rose, I thought UFC was a fan of James Yantop with the matchups that they were giving him at first. But now that he's just came in and lost 2 in a row, dude, I think they're like, all right, this dude's got another organization tattooed on his neck and a Uzi tattooed on his face. We can't promote this guy. Let's feed him to the Fighting Nerds, up and coming young prospect. Well, I guess not too young, 28. I mean, he's still pretty young. You can tell he definitely modeled his style after Conor McGregor, dude. He's so smooth on the feet, likes to throw these like will kicks. Looks exactly like Conor McGregor fought at 145, dude. He is so good. Yeah, dude. And James Yantop, he's just like every Peruvian, dude. They have no ground game. So he's tough. Is Mauricio Hoofy going to knock him out? Possibly, because the way that this fight's going to play out is like we're going to have Mauricio skirting around the outside and we're going to have James Yantop kind of rushing in trying to hit him. But when he rushes in, he's just going to get clobbered every single time with the quickness of Mauricio Hoofy, dude. And something that wouldn't surprise me too much here, just because it's an easy path to victory, man. Get in there, get your check, and get out, dude. Is Mauricio Hoofy trains at a fantastic team, led by Caio Bahayo, fantastic grappler. Dude, what if we saw Mauricio Hoofy go in here this weekend, take down James Yantop, and submit him in the first round? Would it really surprise you that much? I know he don't have any submissions, but James Yantop has a glaring hole in his game that Chris Padilla, a journeyman fighter, was able to expose kind of. So, Do we see some Mauricio Hoofy grappling this weekend is my question. I say yes. Give me Mauricio Hoofy to submit James Yontop this weekend, mostly because I think he's too tough to knock out, kind of. Which way you going here, man?
Yeah, man. I think honestly, you pretty much hit the nail on the head on that one, man. I think Hoofy, he's a big favorite for a reason. And we got to remember that Hoofy was supposed to face Charlie Campbell on this fight card, and Charlie Campbell had to end up pulling out. So Yontop is taking this fight on short notice too. Yontop is super tough, so I think it's going to be hard for Hoofy to knock him out. But I do think, as you said, clear path to victory there for the takedown. Could he get the submission? Maybe. But I could see just like some good wrestling, some good control, just kind of getting another win under his belt and kind of keeping it moving as well. But yeah, let's go Mauricio Hoofy here.
Mauricio Hoofy via submission is plus 950 right now, Euros.
That's 100% worth it. That's 100% worth it. I'm about to go play it right now.
All right, well, we'll move on to the next fight. My girl, D-Rose. Man, it's tough one here. Anyway, let's get into it. We've got
two of your girls here, man. So that's tough.
Yeah, but I've been a Vivi fan for a while, dude, for a while. But here we go. Killer Karine Silva, 18-4 overall, taking on Viviane Araujo. She is 12-6 overall. Killer Karine Silva is 30 years old, 5'5" and a 67-inch reach, while Viviane Araujo is 37 years old, 5'4" and a 68-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight are plus 220 for Viviane Araujo and minus 295 for Killer Karine Silva. And the reason why I'm so disappointed, D-Rose, is kind of because you said it. I have two of the fighters that I like to pick and bet on going against each other, and one of which is one that I've been a fan of for a long time. But as you see, she's 37 years old, and shit, by the time that this fight takes place, she might be 38 years old on the dot. I just think she got started a little bit late. When she first got into the UFC, dude, you don't see many females having like one-shot knockout power or having these body shot combos that are knocking these bitches out. But Viviane Araujo was that girl, and that is why I was such a fan of her. As she's rose through the ranks and got higher in the division and, gotten a little bit older, dude, that's just not really there anymore. She is tough as all hell. Kind of started to gas a little bit earlier in her career, but she kind of patched that up, fixed the gas tank. But I just think that causes her not to go as hard maybe in the first and not to really look for those finishes that maybe she had earlier in her UFC career. On the other hand, Killer Karine Silva has come in here and just blown through all these chicks. I guess against Ariane Lipski, kind of odd that she wasn't able to submit her after seeing Jazz do it a few weeks ago now. So, but with that being said, I do like Killer Karine Silva here. I think she's the much more physical girl of the two. And she's for sure got the better grappling of the two. If this is on the feet for all 3 rounds, dude, this could go either way. I'm gonna tell you that right now, but I just don't see it. I see Killer Karine Silva probably going to get a takedown all 3 rounds and ride out the round there. So give me Killer Karine Silva to win this fight via decision. Which way are you going here, man?
Yeah, I think this one. I knew you were going to be pretty torn going into this fight. When I saw they were even matched up initially, I was like, "Oh man, this one's going to be a tough one for old Matt to pick." But no, I definitely do think this is it's a well matched fight for Karine, just in terms of we know where she needs to get the fight, and we know where Vivi is at her weakest, is with her back on the ground. So Karine Silva does have a clear path to victory, but as you said, Vivi does have that power, man. So even at 37, I think she's got the power. I don't know if she necessarily has the speed to put together the combination that she used to, but Yeah, if you make one wrong mistake, she can still hurt you. And she actually did surprise me in that. I know she lost her last fight against Natalia Silva, but even in the Jennifer Maia fight, Jennifer Maia's got pretty decent takedowns herself. And, I know a lot of people, gave Jennifer Maia so much credit for taking down Valentina in the fight. And Vivi did a really good job at stuffing her takedowns for the most part, man. So I wouldn't be surprised if Vivi's going to become prepared and ready. But I do think Karina just with a little bit more aggression. I think even if she doesn't get the first couple of them, she's going to get them eventually, and she's going to get it to where she wants. And she's a big, strong girl for the division, man. So I think Karina Silva, let's go by decision here.
Me and D-Rose both picking the walking pharmacy via decision. Dude, look at the fucking shoulders on her. Dude, like, we know Vivi's jacked, but look at Karina Silva's shoulders in this picture, dude. It's just like that. Okay, well, you can't get that naturally.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, so moving on. We've got the biggest favorite on the card. That is Bo Nickel taking on Paul, the Bear Jew Krieg. Bo Nickel is 6-0. Bear Jew Paul Craig is 17-8-1. Bo Nickel is currently minus 1,400. Your favorite. Paul Craig is plus 680, the underdog. Bo Nickel, 28 years old, 6'1" and a 76-inch reach, while Bear Jew Paul Craig is 36 years old, 6'3" and a 76-inch reach. Paul Craig dropped down to middleweight a couple fights ago because basically he was getting knocked out by the heavyweights. But at the same point, he was quicker, had better grappling than all of the light heavyweights as well. Did I say heavyweights? I meant light heavyweights. But anyway, he had better grappling than all the light heavyweights because there weren't too many there that had good grappling. So he's dropping down to middleweight now where there's a lot more grapplers down at middleweight, and he's cutting weight, so it's not going to do his chin any good, and he's gotten knocked out at middleweight now too. So, yeah, dude, I really don't see a path to victory for Paul Craig here. I mean, he is a unicorn. He did beat Ankalaev via submission. He did break Jamal Hill's arm, dude. But once again, those were up at 205, where I don't feel like the guys were as fast, as quick as anyone down at middleweight, to be honest. So dude, I don't see that. I think Bo Nickel's going to knock him out probably early, but I'm scared to bet it because, dude, the Cody Brundage fight kind of burned me. But was it just because it was a Cody Brundage fight? And, that's what happens in Cody Brundage fights.
That's what I warn everybody of.
Yeah, but he was able to kind of shuck off Bo Nickel a few times, but Cody Brundage does have a college wrestling background as well, as where Paul Craig. You try to take him down, he's going to pull guard on you if you try to take him down. So, yeah, I feel like Bo Nickel's a smart fighter, and he knows that Paul Craig has no chin. So give me Bo Nickel to knock out Paul Craig this weekend. What's odds for that? Let's see. Bo Nickel via knockout this week is minus 130. Wow, he's more likely to knock out Paul Craig than he is to submit Paul Craig. Knockout minus 130, submission plus 210. Bo Nickel by points is plus 800 if you think he gets there, but give me Bo Nickel via knockout. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Dude, that's absolutely crazy. Minus 130 for a method of victory prop is absolutely nuts. And I'm honestly, I will say, even though I've never been the biggest Paul Craig fan, I picked against him in a lot of fights, man. But I will say, man, he is. I think this is proper in terms of this is a tough match that Bo Nickel should win. But I think Paul Craig's going to offer some resistance, man. I think the big thing is that when Bo Nickel with his striking, when he's moving forward, he's okay. But as you said, Cody Brundage kind of gave him a little bit of trouble there, and was able to kind of work a little bit of, Brundage was able to work a little bit of his own pressure in on Bo Nickel there. And what I'm curious to see is when Bo Nickel, because there's going to be obviously a point in time where he goes for the takedown. man, when Paul Craig goes for that triangle, what is that? Oh shit, my cat just jumped on my freaking lap like a maniac.
I heard you like something hit you.
Yeah, like what the hell, dude? Like, yeah, my cat's literally sitting here going nuts. But I'm curious to see when Bo Nickel does go for the takedown, does Paul Craig end up going into that triangle? And Paul Craig's got a nasty triangle, man. As you said, he caught Magomed with it. He caught Jamal Hill with it as well. So Bo Nickel, for someone who might not have faced that type of pressure just yet, maybe he has in a grappling match, but not in an MMA setting. How is he going to react? So I do want to see, especially with him being so green, how is he going to react in those moments where Paul Craig's going to gosh, I had the hiccups like crazy. Going to potentially put him in some danger. But I still think Bo Nickel, I think he's got good enough boxing. And Paul Craig's definitely chinning man. So let's go. Bo Nickel by knockout. Holy smokes, I can't get this to go away.
How much longer do you think until Bo gets a real step up? I think if we see him 10-0, he'll start getting ranked opponents. How about you, D-Rose? Or I guess
trying to do the hold my breath thing.
Yeah.
So what is his record at right now? 6-0.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, because honestly, you can make the argument that after Paul Craig, you could see him start making some maybe 15 or so matchups. Just because, man, I mean, Paul Craig, he's kind of like that perfect test. Maybe that Neil Magny type of level. Like, hey, if you beat him, man, you're pretty good, and now you're going to get thrown into the Lions den. And I don't want to see Bo Nickel get moved up too early because I would like to see him develop. But yeah, I mean, he could be fighting up at the top within no time with a dominant win over Paul Craig.
Yeah, I agree. Me and D-Rose both on Bo Nickel, though. So, co-main event of the evening, probably the fight that I'm most excited for, if I'm going to be honest. I love this first fight, dude. And, dude, how do you not love every Michael Chandler fight? It's fuck a game plan. That's what Michael Chandler says, dude. Yeah, let's get into it. We got Charles Do Bronx Oliveira 34-10, while we got Michael Chandler 23-8. Do Bronx Charles Oliveira, 35 years old, 5'10" and a 74-inch reach, while Iron Michael Chandler is I don't know if I said his record, 23-8, 38 years old, 5'8" and a 71.5-inch reach. Currently, odds for this fight are Charles Do Bronx Oliveira minus 280, Iron Michael Chandler plus 210. D-Rose, I'm going to pass this one to you, my guy. Feel free to break it down and make your pick.
Yeah, I think obviously, no doubt, this is going to be the most fun fight on the card. And I know it's a 5-round co-main event. I don't think 5 rounds are going to be needed. 3 rounds will could potentially not be needed. But both these dudes are just absolute killers. Both go for the finish. We know how Michael Chandler fights, just an absolute wrecking ball. Forward pressure. Not the cleanest boxing, but dude, he's got some nasty hooks, man. And he's going out there to hurt you, man. Especially out there within the first, minute or so. I mean, that's one thing I will give him credit for is, dude, he starts fast as hell. Like he comes I would say like Chandler, Hamzat, early Conor McGregor. Like those are the types of dudes who, as soon as a fight starts, they are immediately in your face, using their pressure and getting after you. And that's what people love about Chandler. And I think Charles Oliveira is a guy who just developed so many skills over his career. And we know he was known as a quitter at one point in time, and then he persevered and became a champ, and seemed like he was in the same fight each time in his title fight where he was getting hurt. Came back, ripped victory from the jaw of the defeat, and ended up winning. And he put on some spectacular performances, and even looked good in his last fight against Armin. Man, I'm not gonna lie though, I'm liking Chandler, man. I am. I'm liking Chandler. I like him in this underdog role here. Not too much pressure coming in on him. He's coming off of the 2-year layoff with the Dustin Poirier fight. of course, waiting for the McGregor fight and all this stuff. But if I'm being honest, I think the break for Chandler was also good as well because, dude, look at the wars that he was getting into and that he was actually taking those fights pretty frequently versus I know he's coming in at 38 years old now, but dude, if there's a 38-year-old that I trust to be in great shape, is going to be Michael Chandler. He looks in great shape this week. And man, I think he can come out and I think he's going to maybe not as much forward pressure as he did in that first fight and try to go for the finish immediately. Man, I think he just ends up landing a couple bombs on Charles Oliveira. And I think Charles Oliveira gets a little reckless. I think he tries to swing with Chandler, but I think Chandler ends up catching him with a big one and getting him out of there. So give me Michael Chandler by knockout.
Fair enough. Obviously, I'm a fan of Michael Chandler. Met him in Nashville. Funny to meet the guy because it's funny when you meet fighters because you expect them to be like just a big guy, and when I was like way taller than him, it just kind of just threw me off. Like, kind of puts these guys into human perspective. You know, they're just people. I do like Michael Chandler. The only fighter that I've done a documentary on. If you guys haven't watched that, go check it out. Fun fighter, dude. Fantastic story. Fun as hell, dude. How are you not entertained by his fights, dude? As I said in the beginning, fucking game plan, dude. If Henry Hoof has a game plan for him, dude, I don't even know if they should even practice it because he's not sticking to the game plan, dude. He's gonna go in there, he's gonna wing hooks, throw power jabs to the body, overhands, dude, power leg kicks. It's gonna be hard to call how this fight goes just because it's a Michael Chandler fight, and every single one of his fights, he hurts the person that he's fighting. He gets hurt back, and it's a absolute fucking war, dude. It's a tough one to call. But for my pick, I will let New York's own Ice Spice make my pick for me.
Label 10K in capital for always supporting me. And of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible.
Here it is.
Shout out to Bronx.
Shout out to Bronx. Shout out to Bronx. Shout out to Bronx.
Let's go.
My label 10K.
Yeah, the Bronx, baby.
Shout out my record, 10K. And shout out to Bronx. Shout out to Bronx. Shout out to Bronx.
That was actually a dope edit, I ain't gonna lie.
Dude, as how crazy is it that Ice Spice from New York, they're in MSG this weekend?
It's all adding up, man. It's all adding
perfect. It's perfect. Charles Du Bronx. I think before I got the news that the gloves were changed again and shit, I thought Charles via sub was the way to go. Now that the old gloves are back, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know. It could go either way. So my official pick for this card is Charles Oliveira via finish. I don't know how he's going to get it done, but I am picking him to get it done. Yeah, D-Rose, going to be a fun fight, but it is main event time. So if you guys haven't already, please do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Well, let's get into it, dude. We've got Johnny Bones Jones, the greatest of all time, 27-1, 27-0. 29-0 if you want to count it. However you want to do it. He's undefeated, never lost a fight, and he is a huge favorite according to Tapology. Currently, odds for this fight -720 for John Bones Jones. Stipe Miocic is +450. John Jones, 37 years old, 6'4" and an 84-inch reach, while Stipe Miocic is 42 years old, 6'4" and an 80-inch reach. D-Rose, and this is the fight that I don't think anyone really wants, anyone really asked for. And the odds kind of tell you how this fight's going to go, dude. I don't even want to spend too much time on this because what is there to really say, dude? We haven't seen Stipe in 3 years where he got knocked out by Francis, dude. And even in that fight, he really didn't look as fast and as clean as he did in his previous fights. So this is 3 years removed from that. Do I think it's good for him? Probably. But being 40 years old, dude, what are you doing here? And to be fighting the greatest of all time in John Jones, I know these are probably going to be both fighters' retirement fights, but I don't. John's too safe. He is too good at game planning and distance management to let Stipe hit him with anything that he needs to be hit by. So give me John Jones to win this fight. Let's say via decision. John Jones decision for me. Which way are you going, D-Rose?
Yeah, I think the
mask because I've only got to wear this one time.
Yeah.
I'll never get to wear that again now.
Yeah, I think the worst part about this fight is that it's been drug on for so long now, where I think had this fight happened last year already at MSG, and Tom Aspinall is now, he picked up the vacant heavyweight title, and now he's going on a couple of title defenses. I think it'd be a little bit of a better pill to swallow, but considering that this fight has been on ice for over a year, while Tom Aspinall has defended the interim championship in that time, that's what's kind of basically rubbed people the wrong way, because really at this point, John could have already basically either fought shit or get off the pot, man.
Yeah.
That's
from Satan. Well, I got it from Amazon, so it is what it is.
He's like similar place.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think and even if this fight was a year sooner, I think a lot of us still have the same comments. But considering that it's been drug out for so long, I think everybody's just kind of basically tired of it and just want to get it over with at this point. Which I actually think this fight is a little bit closer contested than what people are actually giving it credit for. Stipe is super tough, good boxing. The biggest thing that I want to see is that if John is if he's not able to get the takedown early, how is his striking going to look at heavyweight? Is he going to? I know he was saying that he wanted to work on his power before. Going into that Cyril Gane fight, I know he was posting like the 1 shot, 1 kill or something like that with some of the pad work that he was doing, and that was just mostly his boxing. So what I'm curious to see if if Stipe is able to stuff those takedowns, what does John end up looking like on the feet overall? But I do think that I think John should be able to get it done. But fucking man, let's cheer for chaos, man. I'll take Stipe here.
I was gonna
just for some bullshit.
I was gonna say, I'm like, damn, dears, we only got 2 fights here. Do we pick Bronx versus Chandler, or do we pick Gall versus Brahimaj? But I mean, if you're picking Stipe, that's 3, and we got 3.
We got 3. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go.
Right.
I'm locking in with Stipe to give us that. Let's do it.
Now,
and I'm honestly, I'm just
gonna be betting that this weekend?
you. Probably not. But man, I'm just rooting for chaos at this point, because we all know that John wins this weekend, and he walks off into the sunset. What happens if he loses and Stipe ends up becoming champ? Do they end up doing a rematch? Does Aspinall still stay on the ice with the interim title? Does he go back out and defend it again while John and Stipe are doing their fights?
Like, what I was hearing is that the moment that the fight starts this weekend, there's no more interim. Like, Tom's gonna be fucking stripped. So I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, I would say from what I saw, it's supposed to still be. He's supposed to be the interim champ, which makes absolutely no sense. But it's the UFC; they can kind of do whatever they want,
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man. Well, that's it. We got our 3 different picks for the pick champ this week. Then, probably gonna clean sweep D-Rose. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I got 3 favorites, man. Well, I guess Mickey Gall versus Ramesh Brahimaj is a pretty close fight. Bronx favorite, and John Jones is a huge favorite. So D-Rose got a chance of getting
Let's go,
some brooms.
Chandler.
I'll have to
Let's
bring
go,
a
Chandler.
broom. Yeah, and before we get out of here, I'm going to be traveling over to D-Rose's side of the state Saturday morning. So should have a fight companion for y'all for the UFC 309. Probably be the last StreamYard stream we do. It's been fun, but I'll have to find something new to use here going forward next week because I'm not paying $50 a month to use StreamYard. Not worth it, in my opinion. So with that being said, anything before we get out of here, D-Rose? Are you excited for the fights and shit this weekend and all that good shit, man?
Nah, I'm actually more excited for you to come down than even just
Oh,
the
yeah?
fights itself. So yeah, it's it's dope to have somebody watch the fights with and stuff. So hell yeah, it
that's
should be dope, man. Like I said, should be a pretty fun card, and yeah, man, let's try to hopefully get some money this weekend, but just enjoy our time. Yeah, man, and you have a safe drive down here, man.
I know, Dave. Not a good look. Not a good look. I saw I'm gonna play slip puke the bag this week. Yeah. So with that being said, keep an eye out for Change of Cheddar Friday night here on the channel, maybe a little bit earlier than usually because weigh-ins are I think at 6 or something like that. So if I could knock out Change of Cheddar a little bit earlier, that'd be cool because 10 p.m. is kind of late sometimes we do a Change of Cheddar. And then Saturday, me and D-Rose fight companion stream, be over at D-Rose's basement watching fights, maybe some kids screaming. Actually, 100% going to have kids screaming.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, look out for my Noche UFC card videos. My lovely fiance got me some of these for my birthday. So you guys keep an eye out for that this upcoming week. So with that being said, keep an eye out for videos the rest of the week, and then same shit next week. As always, me and D-Rose will be here. Different picks for this weekend, as always. I'm on Mickey Gall, Du Bronx, and John Jones. D-Rose on Ramirez, Brahimaj, Michael Chandler, and for some reason he picked Steve. I don't know why he did that, but with that being said, we will
chaos.
We appreciate. What the fuck did Dave? Don't say that. Get some help, Dave. You don't say that. You don't say that. Hey, you don't say that.
I got two of them over here.
Oh my goodness. I got you. Yeah. All right. D-Rose, it's been fun hanging out this week, doing picks and everything like we do every single week. All that good shit. Anything before we get out of here, man?
No, man. Good pod. And like I said, have a safe drive down here coming down this weekend, and we'll be delivering y'all a fight companion come Saturday, man.
All right, hell yeah, sounds good. I'm excited. See all of you then. Keep an eye out for the videos on the channel. But with that being said, y'all stay safe out there. If you're betting on these fights, don't be betting more than you can afford to lose because it's a fist fight at the end of the day. So with that being said, D-Rose, I don't know if you want to stop by for Change of Cheddar Friday. You're obviously more than welcome. It's UFC pay-per-view and all that good shit. So with that being said, I'll at least catch you Friday. D-Rose might catch you Friday. We'll both catch you Saturday. But with that being said, y'all be safe out there, and we'll catch you guys later on this week. Peace.